Hello everyone, I'm Chase Lee reporting for DallasMovieScreens.com and welcome to my coverage of the 2016 Dallas International Film Festival. I'm going to be throwing a bunch of movie reviews at you guys, so it's going to get quite annoying on my channel, but what's new, right? I'm always annoying. So let's review the first one I saw, which is called Occupy, Texas. What is this movie? I know, it's weird. I don't know it either. Well, I got the synopsis right here on my phone. Alright. 7 years after the height of Occupy Wall Street, Bo Baker is still raging against the machine from a tent in a New York City alley. When his uncle tracks him down and informs him of his parents' tragic death, Bo packs up his things and heads home to Texas to take care of his family affairs and two sisters who aren't sure what to think of their long-lost brother. Okay, so this movie is homegrown, Texas-made, it is in and shot in Texas. So I gotta be honest, I didn't care for this movie at all. I found it a chore to sit through. The acting was atrocious and everything. There's just a lot going on. So let's get real and break this down. Let's start with the writing and directing. Now, as far as the writing goes, it is a very thin story. Just like the synopsis reads, his uncle comes and basically kicks him out of a little alleyway and he's like, "All right, son, let's go." And then he goes back to Texas. We don't ever see the uncle again, by the way. That's like strike number one. It's like he could have at least called him or something. Like, how was everything going? And it's like he was there and he's gone. And within the first 5 minutes, he goes, "Your parents are dead." Okay, so there's no emotional weight right there. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. You can grow your emotional weight throughout the movie by advancing your character's arcs and stuff with the brother and the sisters and stuff. I totally get that. Never felt that. There was never once in this movie where I felt emotional weight or gravitas to the situation at hand, or even when they get to their dramatic moments. First of all, the acting was atrocious, but I never felt anything. It was just like, it sounded like two people yelling in the street reading off of a script, and it's like, I was just sitting there in just awe, and I was like, I can't believe people are eating this up. And that's the other thing with people eating this up. People were laughing all over this movie. This movie is not funny whatsoever. Every single piece of dialogue that was uttered that was supposed to be a joke was delivered in such a dry and stale fashion. I was like, I can't believe people are buying this. And that's the other thing. The dialogue is atrocious. There's one line. "I've loved you so much, my skin hurt." Okay. Another one. What was it like? When I go through that door, the responsibility won't go through there. I don't know. I don't even know anymore. It's just, it is a chore to sit through in terms of the story and the way it's paced and structured. It's a very thin story from start to finish. You kind of know how it's going to end, and it's like, if the acting was better, I would have given this one more of a pass, but it's just not. Which, let me go into the directing. I will say, as like the story that is presented in a very thin fashion, very one-dimensional, it was directed well. That's what I'll say. There were a few moments that were very choppy in terms of the way they were cut, but that's more of the editing side. So let's get into the acting. The acting is not believable whatsoever. I felt like I was watching this weird stage play at some performance hall, and I was like, I can't. Does someone allow this on stage? Okay. I never believed any of the characters. Never believed any of their motivations. Never was invested into the story or the characters because the acting was not that good. And Lorelei Linklater is also in this, and she was in Boyhood. She is Richard Linklater's daughter. She's fine in this. She's the better person out of the group until she gets her kind of outburst dramatic scene. That was not handled so well, but everything else was fine. She was like, the all-star compared to everyone else. But the acting all around is just not that good at all. Didn't care about anyone. Everyone's performances was just like, I realized this movie was trying to take more of a humorous approach, but balance it out with some of the drama. But when the drama is delivered poorly, it just makes it seem like, okay, so it's just, all funny, which it wasn't. So I was just sitting there, trying to trudge along this 96-minute movie, which felt like 2 years. So the acting is just not that good. Cinematography-wise, I will give them this. I will give them props. It is shot well. There's a couple of shots where some of the characters will be in the foreground, in focus, the background's out of focus. That's not a problem. But like the characters will kind of like sway into the back, kind of come in the front, and they'll go out of focus for a second, kind of come back with no purpose. So it's like, why did you do that? Are you shooting all on DSLRs or what's going on? But for the most part, the cinematography is fine. Editing wise, like I said, not only was I not invested, so it felt longer. It was like the pace of a snail, but there were a few moments where the editing was kind of choppy in some scenes. Like it would be on one shot, then it would cut to one for like a couple seconds, and then come back to the same shot, and then go to the other one. And it was like kind of some weird, rough, jagged cuts that would happen throughout the movie. But for me, emotionally investing, was not into it. And some of the editing technically didn't get me either. Guys, listen, I realize that I bashed this movie quite a bit. And a lot of people might be sitting here watching this going, well, if it's so easy, why don't you do it? I would love to. I majored in filmmaking. If you want to put that challenge on me, I would be glad to make a feature film and try to beat whatever this was. But I did not care for it personally. Occupy Texas gets a D+. Sorry. I mean, listen. A lot of people in my audience, they enjoyed it. That's great. I'm glad that you found something good in it that I didn't. That's the beauty of film. Subjectivity, baby. That's why we're here. So, have you seen Occupy Texas, or have you even heard of it? And if you are a part of the filmmakers on this movie and you're watching this review, I do commend you guys working your butts off, but let me know down in the comments that I'm wrong. If you have seen it, if you liked it, if you disliked it, if you want to see if it's something you want to check out, if it's ever on demand or something, comment in the place, roll my face and let me know. And I'm Chase Lee reporting for DallasMovieScreenings.com, and come back for my continuing coverage of the 2016 Dallas International Film Festival. I didn't know how to end that, and I still don't know how to end this. So I'll see you guys later.